Hey Divine One, it's Jerome Braggs, your intuitive guide along your journey back home to the love that you are and the well-being that you divinely deserve. In today's video, I wanted to answer a question that I've gotten from one of my followers on my Facebook page, and that question is why I often say that we shouldn't try to physically make things happen. We shouldn't try to physically manifest our desires, put so much action in them, try to push or force them. And the reason for why I say that and why I teach that is because that was something I had to learn along my journey. It was something that was told to me directly in my near-death experience. I know for a while, if you've been following and watching my videos or been following my work or have attended any of my workshops or anything, you've heard me talk about my near-death experience. And the dominant message that was given to me during that experience by Source, which was the way to heal ourselves and to experience true well-being, is to come back home to ourselves through the path of loving ourselves. But there was another message that was given to me. And that message was that I knew at the time when I had my near-death experience, the Source told me that I knew a lot about how to make things happen. I knew how to force them. I knew how to push them. I knew how to fight and try and make life be good to me. But that I didn't know anything about letting life be good to me. And that life really just wanted to be good to me. That it loved me. It loves all of us. And that its natural way of being towards us is to provide our desires and the things that make our lives enjoyable and that support our well-being. And that one of the messages that I got in that was that I didn't know anything about that yet, how to let life be good to me, but I was going to learn. Well, what I learned in the journey that followed that is that one, we are divinely loved beings. We are unconditionally loved beings because we are source energy manifested in physical bodies. So there's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing unworthy about us. There's nothing less than about us. So we already deserve. So whatever we desire, whatever we're wanting, whatever we are dreaming about, whatever we're praying for, whether it's something, a relationship, whether it's a physical item, whether it's some type of state of health, whether it's some type of state of wealth or finances, whatever that is, we already deserve it. And this is an ask and it's given universe. So if we ask for it, because we are loved beings, because we are unconditionally worthy beings already, that thing is immediately given. It's not withheld from us in any type of way. So it's not that there is some entity outside of us or there is something in the sky that says, you don't quite deserve that yet, or I'm not going to give this to you yet until you do this or until you prove something. There's nothing we have to prove. There's nothing that we need to go and scrounge around and try to do to make life be good to us. We already deserve good, and good is already trying to flood into our experience. Again, it's the ask and it's given universe. We ask, that experience is immediately given. The other key to that, though, is that we have to receive that. We have to be able to receive what's given because love doesn't force. And because this is a universe that is made of love, it's made of source. Source is all that is, and source is the frequency of love. And so because this is a universe that is made of love, love does not force. It is not a forcing energy. And so it can't force us to receive something that we are not open to receive. So the key then, and goes back to what I was told in my near-death experience, is to let ourselves receive what life wants to already give us. And that is about having a frequency, having a vibration within us that is open enough that allows us to receive what we want. And that goes back into tuning your frequency to be in alignment with the having of the desire that you want. So instead of trying to force something to happen when you're out of alignment with the frequency of that thing, you want to just do the work of tuning your frequency towards the having of that. And how you do that is you really get into how does this thing, the having of this desire, a goal, a dream that I have, how do I feel when I view myself already having that? When I view myself already in this relationship that I want, how do I feel? when I view myself already having healed this bodily condition or this bodily ailment or this illness or disease that I'm experiencing, when I view myself being already healed and being well and healthy, how does that feel for me? If I view myself having this money that I want, right? If I don't have a certain amount of money and I want a certain amount, how does it feel to have that amount of money, right? So when I tune myself into the feeling of already having that, so if the health may make me feel free, it may make me feel relaxed, it may make me feel relieved, or it may make me feel attractive, then when I do the work of beginning to feel that way already, even before the health has manifested for me, I open myself up to receive that health. If having a partner makes me feel loved, it makes me feel safe, it makes me feel excited, then when I do the work of tuning my internal energy to the frequency of those feelings, then I open myself up to receive that. But if I don't do that, if I don't do the tuning of my energy work, so we have an internal energy that we hold within our bodies, and that's basically how we feel, right? How we emotionally feel. If I don't do the work of tuning my internal energy to the frequency of what I want, right? So it's the frequency of the health makes me feel free, it makes me feel safe. If I don't do the work of tuning my energy to feeling more free and more safe, then I'm going to have to force things to happen. And there's two things that happen when we try to force our good to manifest in our lives without tuning our energy and just letting it manifest in its own divine timing. When we try to force things to happen, one of two things happens. You can make that thing happen, but if your energy is not in alignment with the having of that thing, it can't stay. So you can make it manifest, but it will not stay. It will not, you won't have an elongated experience with that desire or that dream that you want. And it becomes fleeting, and it just leads you back to feeling the lack of it again. And it leads you back to feeling whatever frequency caused you to want that thing in the first place, right? And that's what we see a lot of times with people who win the lottery. You know, that's why the studies have shown that over 90% of the people that win the lottery are right back in their initial financial situation, which for most of them was broke. They're broke again within the next 2 years after they won the lottery, no matter how much they've won. It's the same thing where, you know, you can force, you know, and do all the manifestation tools and the vision boards and force things, the relationship that you want to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to manifest that partner, and that relationship is not going to be a healthy relationship. It's not going to stay long, and it's going to lead you feeling alone and lonely again. Right? If you manifest, whatever you manifest from whatever frequency you're holding, that manifestation has to make you feel more of that. So if you try and force yourself to get more money, if you work really hard, maybe you do some illegal things to get more money or whatever, if you're not in the frequency of abundance, or if you're not holding the vibration of having enough, then when you get that money, it's going to make you feel more lack. More situations are going to come up to where you're going to have to spend that money, and you're going to continue to feel how you felt before the money was there, which is probably broke, or which is probably that feeling like there wasn't enough. And so the key again is not to make life be good to you. Life is already trying to be good to us no matter what. The key is to hold a frequency within our being that allows life to be good to us, that allows our good to flow to us. And one of the things that I learned in my journey is if you just really focus on feeling worthy, like healing and releasing whatever shame is in your being that tells you that there's something wrong with you, that tells you that there's something less than about you, or that you don't deserve what you want already. If you just work on feeling worthy enough right now, just feeling worthy and enough, and then you tune your energy to the frequency of love as much as you can. And love meaning joy and ease, right? If you can just get the feelings of worthiness, joy, and ease in your being, then what you're doing is you're embodying the energy of love. And love opens the doors for all good to flow to you. If you can just make your journey about that, instead of really focusing so much on doing the vision boards and the meditation exercises, and the manifestation exercises and all these things to try and force things to manifest for you. If you can just focus on being the embodiment of love frequency as much as you can, I promise you, your good will just start to flow in, because love is the attractive force for all good. Love manifests more love. And no matter what we want, whether it's in our finances, our health of our body, our relationships, our peace of mind, whatever that is, why we really want that is because we think it's going to make us feel a higher experience of love. We think it's going to make us feel better. That's really why we want what we want, because we think in the having of it, we're going to feel better than we already do. So the key to opening yourself to receive it is just to begin to feel better than you already do, to feel more love. And if you can feel more love, everything that love wants to give you will begin to flow in, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Life already wants to be good to you because you are a loved being. It loves you unconditionally, and love only wants to serve and to give. I hope this helps you. Until next time, I love you. Go love yourself.